The movie starts with Syd, who works at the Lucas Clinic, a shady place where they harvest viruses from celebrities after they get sick. These viruses are then injected into obsessed fans who want to experience what their favorite stars feel when they're ill. The clinic profits from this bizarre practice. Syd offers a special virus from a famous celebrity, Hannah Geist, to a client named Edward. But before leaving, everyone is checked to ensure no one steals a virus. Syd, however, secretly takes one and injects it into himself. Despite the risky move, Syd starts feeling the virus's effects, but he also has a special machine from the clinic that could change things. The machine's a game changer. It can clean his blood and get rid of that virus. But Syd ain't just trying to save himself. He's keeping that machine because he knows he can flip it on the black market for some serious cash. The machine's got some crazy tech too. It can scan infected blood, show the virus on a screen in the form of a human face, and then it breaks down and analyzes that virus. Just wild, right? That's the setup, and it's only gonna get crazier from here. So, here's the deal. Thanks to the machine Syd snatched, the virus doesn't spread to other folks. It gets completely wiped out of the infected person's system. Now, this whole thing is going down on the black market. People are out here paying to get viruses from their favorite celebs injected into their own bodies, all for the thrill of feeling like they're idols. Celebs, on the other hand, are cashing in by selling their viruses to these labs, which makes them some serious bank. And of course, the clinic is raking it in by flipping these viruses to the highest bidder. The next day, Syd rolls back into work at the clinic. He bumps into Michelle, a worker there, and gets a hold of the Aria Nobel flu virus. That's when he meets Derek, another employee. Derek's the one who's got to go collect the virus from Hannah Geist, a big-name celeb. But before Syd can think too much about that, a client rolls up and Syd offers him the Aria Nobel flu virus. Once he hooks the client up with the shot, Syd injects the virus into himself. He's trying to sneak the virus out of the clinic without anyone catching on. When he gets home, Syd pops the machine into action to cleanse his blood and remove the virus. Then he hands it off to his boy, Arvid, who works over at this spot called Astral Body. But things take a turn when Syd heads to work the next day. He finds out Derek's been locked up by the cops for trying to sneak one of those special machines. With Derek out of the picture, Mr. Lucas, the clinic's founder, pulls Syd aside and tells him he's got a new task. Instead of Derek, Syd's got to go visit Hannah Geist, grab a blood sample from her, and bring it back. So Syd rolls over to Hannah's spot. She just got back from a trip to China, and now she's down with some nasty virus. Syd doesn't hesitate. He extracts the blood, seals it in a capsule, and then, in true Syd fashion, injects it into his own body. Once that happens, he starts feeling what Hannah felt. He catches her illness, and things get real messy for him. So Syd tries to clean that virus out of his system using the machine at his crib, but things don't go as planned. He passes out cold. While he's knocked out, he has this weird dream where a strange tube gets stuck in his arm. But then, boom, he wakes up. Reality check. The machine's all messed up and can't even analyze his blood. It's straight up malfunctioning. Then, Syd catches a news story that hits hard. Hannah Geist, the celeb whose virus he injected into himself, just died from it. That sends him into a panic. He rushes over to Arvid, spills the whole story, and asks him to get some spare parts for his machine so he can fix his blood situation, like ASAP. Arvid's like, "Hold up, I know a guy." He tells Syd about this dude named Levine, the leader of a privacy group, so Arvid takes Syd to Levine's office. When they get there, Syd sees something wild. There's a video playing with Hannah on a screen, looking like she's begging for help. She's stuck in some box-like contraption, but Arvid's like, "Chill. It's just a movie. It's for the fans." They meet Levine, who shows Syd this crazy machine he built. It's the key to purifying Syd's blood. But here's the catch. Levine's got a condition. He'll help Syd, but in exchange, Syd's got to give him a blood sample. Syd knows something's off. That virus inside him, it's dangerous, and he's not about to let anyone take more of his blood. So he dips, but things go south fast. Arvid and Levine corner him, forcefully take a blood sample from him, and leave him out cold on the street. When Syd finally comes to, he stumbles into a coffee shop just trying to clear his head. That's where he runs into two guys, Portland and Bruce. They aren't letting him go anywhere, though. They drag him to Hannah's house. There, he meets her family doctor. The doctor drops a bombshell. Someone took a sample of Hannah's old virus from the Lucas clinic, and then they messed with it, making it so no machine could analyze or fix it. That virus? It's the one that's been slowly killing Hannah, and now it's spread to Syd. Everything's a mess, and Syd's got to figure out how to get out of this alive. So, turns out Syd's machine couldn't analyze the virus because it's been tampered with. But here's the twist. Hannah's death? It was all staged. Her family put on that whole drama because they didn't want the person who gave her the virus to have a chance to infect her again. And get this, Hannah's mom reaches out to Syd, offering to help him out. But there's a catch. If he wants her help, he's got to track down the person who modified Hannah's virus at the Lucas clinic. Syd doesn't hesitate and agrees to the deal. The next day, Syd heads to the clinic, asks Michelle to pull up Hannah's cell records from the past couple of months. He's trying to figure out when Derek last bought the Bermuda flu virus. But here's the problem. Derek was in jail at that time. So, Syd starts connecting the dots and heads over to Arvid's place. He's pretty sure Derek grabbed the viruses and passed them off to Arvid, but when he asks Arvid about it, Arvid plays dumb, tells him to leave. Syd isn't giving up though. He heads over to Derek's house and starts snooping around. After a bit of digging, he finds a capsule with the virus inside. He takes it with him and heads back to his crib. That's when he sees some packets left by Portland on the table. Inside are the spare parts he needs to fix his machine. Syd wastes no time and gets to work. Soon enough, the machine's up and running again, and it finally analyzes the virus. With the new info in hand, Syd takes it straight to Hannah's doctor. But when he gets back to his place, he finds everything's been tossed. His stuff's all over the place. Before he can even process what's happening, Levine shows up, grabs Syd, and takes him away. Syd wakes up in a locked room, and the only thing he hears is someone talking to him through a microphone from outside. Things are spiraling, and Syd's got no idea who's pulling the strings. So Syd's locked in this room, and the guy on the other side of the mic starts talking. He's telling Syd how devastated Hannah's fans are after her so-called death. They want to know how she died. And since Syd was the last person to have contact with her, he's in the hot seat. But here's the kicker. Levine wants to film it all. Record Syd talking about Hannah's death and make a spectacle out of it. It'll boost his profile and make him a ton of cash. Of course, he starts clowning Syd, making fun of him. As things go downhill, Syd's health gets worse, and he snaps. He takes a sample of his own blood and forces it into Levine's mouth, knowing full well that Levine's gonna catch the same disease. Syd manages to escape, taking a nurse hostage in the process. He breaks free and runs for it. That's when he gets a call from Vera, a woman who owns a company. She reveals her company's role in infecting Hannah with the virus, but she won't say why. Syd's mind starts turning, and he shares a crazy idea with Vera. Hannah's not dead. She's alive. Turns out, Hannah had a contract with the Lucas clinic, which meant she had to give all the viruses to them. But the disease that killed her, that came from Vera's company. Now, Vera's company has the cure, the blueprint to fix Hannah, and Syd's ready to help them in exchange for a cure for his own condition. Vera agrees. Syd hides Vera's identity and takes her to Hannah's house. When they get there, Hannah's in worse shape than ever. After her operation, she dies, but the virus inside her gets successfully extracted. Time passes, and Vera's back at her office, healing Syd completely. Now fully cured, Syd starts working for Vera's company. She shows him samples of the viruses they've created for clients, and Syd decides to test one out with an artificial test. He hooks it up to a machine connected to a cell garden, a piece of tech he borrowed from Astral Body, the place where Arvid used to work. But here's where it gets twisted. The company actually took Hannah's body from her family, and now her cells are growing again inside that machine. After all the clients leave, Syd cuts off Hannah's artificial hand and drinks the blood from it. Yeah, he's planning to sell that virus on the black market once again. And that's how the movie ends. Every ending's just a new chapter waiting to pop off. Hit like, smash that sub button, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.